As Dak Prescott, with some long-term commitments now behind his name, starts this season in the win column. Dallas's questions not going to be answered till January. All right, there are teams, like we saw, the Chargers, they get out of the gates. We know that, under Harbaugh no less. And then there are other teams that just can't seem to wake up for week one. Cleveland now 22-1 since 1999. And there were some dark years. There was a decade and a half there of
look at the winning percentage.
Us not knowing what was going on, but Cleveland. Care to join us in week two? Always joined by the incomparable Bryant McFadden. I'm your host, Joe Musso. Mac.
Yes, sir.
It was a big day for Dak Prescott.
No question.
You get paid to the tune of $60 million per. You're feeling some sort of way, but there's also a pressure that comes with all that money to go out there and perform, to get a win on the road. What stood out to you?
Just how relaxed he was. Now, to Dak's, point for him, he didn't need to do a lot today. But he did make some plays, and it was good just seeing Dak throw the football to CeeDee Lamb. It was good seeing Dak hand the football off to Ezekiel Elliott. Both guys had a heck of a day as well. Both guys scored touchdowns for the Cowboys offense. So just seeing these guys all together on the grass is something that we haven't seen in quite some time. And Dak made timely plays. Yeah. You didn't need to have Dak's best effort today, and that's the thing I like about what I watched today with the Dallas Cowboys. They weren't pressing. They allowed the game to flow organically, and they worked within that game. Outside of Dak Prescott getting paid, walking in with the high-priced suit, managing the system, we got to give some praise and some shots out to their defense.
Yeah. Their
defense made Dak's day easy, even though he got the big-time bag. Look at some numbers here defensively. 6 sacks, 2 interceptions, 1 special teams touchdown. The Browns offensively were 2 of 15 on 3rd down. The Browns as a team, they only had 137 yards passing. They made the Cleveland Browns offense look like a JV squad. And the thing about this Cowboys defense that I would like to highlight, remember we saw how opportunistic they were a year ago under Dan Quinn, especially early on in the year, sacking quarterbacks, creating turnovers, scoring touchdowns. But the one element that surfaced throughout the year was the inability to stop the ground attack. Today, when you factor in who the Cleveland Browns, yes, they didn't have Nick Chubb, but this is a team that loves to do what? Establish the game in the line of scrimmage. Not today. Because the Cowboys, they have a new DC who does things the old way, and Coach Zimmer. When you look at Coach Zimmer on the sideline, you see him with those glasses on that nose, the tip of that nose, that pencil and these papers. He's not with the new school with the iPad and things like that. More old school with the papers. He is devoted to stopping the ground game first and then allowing everything else to work itself out. And that's what we saw. Now, can they keep this up? Because we saw this same timeline when it comes to production with them a year ago. Sacking quarterbacks, creating turnovers. And then the running issue surfaced. But I believe we will see a different mentality within their defense because of who their DC is and how he coaches the game of football. When I played in Pittsburgh, the first thing Dick LeBeau used to tell us all the time as a defense, our first job is to stop the run. Because if you cannot stop the run, you cannot stop anything in this league. Everything else will work itself out. So guys in the back end, just understand we're devoting all of our attention to stopping whoever we play offensively, their ground and pound attack. And you better believe success will follow. We believed, and we were very, very successful. Let's see what the Cowboys can do. Because it was a very, very easy day for Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb. But the guys who make the tackles, who win championships, the defense, they stood up.
Held that rushing attack shy of triple digits. You could smell Coach Zimmer's back, like the papers, like old leather.
Yeah, he got the old.
Got 20 seasons on it.
So much paper going on. Coach, they got iPads now. You can go
4 different pairs of the same glasses, just grabbing them whenever he can. Bryant McFadden, we appreciate it.